All right, so we are recording there, Rusty. All right, everybody. So first off, welcome to our Get Connected Sunday. The purpose of this is to try and get folks connected or reconnected in the church as we move into the sort of the new church season. Typically, this would sort of be our typically this would be our rally Sunday, but we can't do that. So we're going to focus on what we can do and how we can get connected and stay connected and be the church. The agenda for today is we're going to have a community building activity. We're going to have different folks do some presentations of the different program offerings and ways to be involved in those. Presenters, you've got about 5 minutes. We will give you in chat, we'll give you a 2-minute warning and then if we're graceful, but we may pull the plug if it goes too long. Or that's what Laura told me when she was telling me about talking. I'm not sure if it applies to everybody else. So we're going to go through music, Sunday adventures, youth, worship opportunities, service, and outreach. There's going to be a little chat time and time for you to. We're going to be using a Google form so folks can sign up for things, or you can email us or call us. Just let us know how you want to get involved and to get involved. And then we'll end with a closing prayer. So should be relatively quick, but hopefully valuable. The community building activity, so get ready. You're going to have to do some work. Laura's going to be running that. So we've got a couple of other things to cover. Let me first, I think, Mark, why don't you give us an update on where we are with getting back together?
Certainly. The Get Together Task Force, Regathering Task Force has met multiple times through the last couple of months. And finally come to the point where we feel we are comfortable for next Sunday at 9:30 a.m., assuming all plans go as expected, to have an in-person worship at 9:30 a.m. We will be sending out all sorts of info and possibly even a video as to what to expect when you get there. You will have to sign in. Masks are required, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So please be on the lookout for that. If you're still not comfortable with coming to in-person worship, it will be live streamed, hopefully. You never know with technology, as the equipment's not being installed until tomorrow. We'll do a test run, and if we can't get it to live stream exactly as we expect, we will post something, either a recorded service as you've been watching, or the actual recorded service from the in-person worship as well. So we'll have you covered. You'll get to see a church service, hopefully as it happens, 9:30 on October 4th.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mark. All right, let's start with, we're going to end with the closing prayer. So we should probably start with an opening prayer. So if you'll all join me. Lord, thank you for bringing us all together today to get connected with each other, with you, that we might learn ways that we can, as a community, be the church, to serve your community, to serve the world. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, a couple of housekeeping things here. I am going to be muting everyone, so that background noises don't get folks caught up. You can unmute yourself, but if you have a question, I would really like you just to put it in the chat screen. If you don't know where the chat screen is, if you hover over the bottom part of your screen, you'll see a little bubble there that says chat. Click there. Next to that, you'll see a little drop-down menu. And I think if There it is. You can chat to everyone, or you can chat to individual folks. If you want Laura to repeat something, that's a great place to do it. I'll be keeping an eye on it on the chat as well. So if you need anything, just chat it in there. If you're having problems with your network, if things are choppy, you can't hear some things, or try turning off your video, because that will use less bandwidth coming out of your home. So those are just some tidbits there. All right. And I think that's what I've got. So here we go. Laura, take it over.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We're going to do a little fun get to know you activity. And even if we know each other, I think we might actually learn some new things about each other. This is going to be painless, I promise. So it's a scavenger hunt. So I'm going to be putting up something for you to go find in your house, and you'll have 1 minute to find it and bring it back. But there is a caveat. If you don't feel it up, it's okay. You don't have to go get it. You can just tell us about it. If you have kids, you can have them go get it. So basically, you can do whatever you want. If you want to get up and go find it and bring it back, that's, if you don't feel like getting up, that's okay too. When we come back, we will be sharing, but not everyone has to share. And if you don't want to share, I'm going to take volunteers. So it's low stress. Nobody has to worry. I'm not going to pick on anybody. If I do call on somebody who doesn't volunteer, if you just, I'm going to write over. Does anyone have a question about what to do before I put up the first go find it? Okay. The first thing you're going to do is find something that represents what you have been doing for fun lately. Easy one. Find something that you've been doing for fun. One. Play, Alex. Ah. Lynn's got a whole pile of stuff there. All right, so my clock on the screen is not working, so I'm using teacher time, which means I just make up whatever time I want. That feels like a minute. I'm gonna use my stopwatch on my phone for the next one though. All right, like I said, we'll take volunteers. So if you would like to volunteer, it looks like Lynn is waving her hand. Lynn, make sure to unmute yourself and share what you've got there for fun.
Oops. Okay. So what I have for fun is first grade. So my grandkids are with me now for school every day. And so first grade needs a lot of help, and I'm really having such fun with it. So that's Kensley, and we're doing math, and this is our reading and writing journal and the ball. Lots of fun. There's more stuff, but this is all I could carry.
I am so glad that you're enjoying that experience. I can say that the teachers probably really appreciate your backup.
And they are superheroes. The teachers are superheroes.
Great. Thank you, Lynn. Alex tells me that Rusty wants to share. I can't see everyone, so Rusty, would you like to share?
I get nervous when Brown decides to speak for me, but anyway, Gail and I have Elmo's because we talk to our granddaughters once a week on Zoom, and Elmo is always a big part of that.
That's wonderful. Okay, we can take one more person who wants to share something you've been doing for fun. I can see Lisa. Go ahead, Lisa.
I noticed a big star in the sky, so I got out the binoculars, and my friend suggested the Skyview app on my phone. So at night, when it's not particularly cloudy, I go out and look at Mars and whatever other places I can find, even the space station.
That's wonderful. I have not heard anyone else say that, so it sounds like a new hobby. All right, and actually I see Jamie. So Jamie, you want to have the last word?
Yeah, I've been trying new recipes. So here I have oatmeal banana coconut cookies. Healthier recipes. So trying new stuff, and some are fails and some are good. So we're just trying to figure out which ones are healthy and yummy.
That sounds fantastic. It's nice to find something new to do during these weird times. All right, here's the second task. Find something that represents one of your talents or gifts, and you have 1 minute. You don't have to get up, remember, if you don't feel like getting up.
Talents or gifts.
You have 30 seconds. Five seconds. Okay. Oh my gosh. Some interesting ones I can see on the screen. Alice, can you help me out because I can't see everybody? Looks like the Smiths.
Sure.
I have a piano book because I've been practicing playing piano.
That's awesome. You know Miss Susan, and I love that.
I have a paintbrush because I like painting.
Oh, that's wonderful. We'd love to see some more of your artwork. Okay, so we've got the Tuzos. Interesting.
So our talent has been redoing the basement, and Lynn has gotten really good with hanging sheetrock.
Woohoo!
I know someone who needs work done. Thank
Who
you.
needs work done?
How about Sandy?
I am back in the studio for dance, so these are one of the props that we're using. We're doing a dance it's for musical theater, and I'm really excited because I'm back in the studio for dance, and that's my talent.
That's awesome. What show are you going to be doing?
I'm part of a competition team, so we're doing a musical theater dance for one of our competitions.
Okay. All right, do we have any last word? Anyone else want to share their special talent or gift? And again, I can't see everyone, so either just unmute yourself or Alex will tell me.
All I got.
Oh, I'll just share this with you if you can hear me, because it's like always reading the comics first, and my mother had told me I'd never be able to get any job except with Barnum and Bailey because she didn't know how I could be anything but a comedian. So I just love to share my humor with my grandkids and other kids around. You know, I'm always a jokester with the kids.
I think that's one of the reasons we all love you. All right, for the sake of time, we're going to do just one more. And so we're going to go with this one. Find something that reminds you of OSLC, Our Shepherd Lutheran Church. You can get up, you have 1 minute, or you can just sit in your seat and think about it. 30 seconds. think the Tuzos are really good at games. I didn't know that.
We're just competitive, Lynn said.
5 seconds. And time. All right, it looks like Tom.
You're still muted, Tom. You got to unmute at the bottom left corner.
One thing I could find real quick is the old church directory,
What year is that, Tom? Do you know?
2017.
Ah, that's not too old. Very good. Now, Tom, do you have any of the really old ones?
Well, I do, but I didn't get them.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to Dave Newell.
Let me unmute. Mine is this, being connected like this. It's the friendship and fellowship we have with each other. That's one of the things I love most about our Shepherd, and the music program, Susan. Always the music program. So.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, let's go to, I know that was a nice one for a segue there. I'm going to end though with the kids because it looks like the Smiths have something.
I have a palm cross from Palm Sunday.
Wonderful.
I have a little wooden thing of the church.
I have the same one, and you know what? I didn't remember. That's right in my kitchen. I could have grabbed it, and I didn't think of it. Good one. Oh, and Libby.
Okay, well, here I have my beautiful mission trip shirt from last summer for the win. Go OSLC.
Thank you, Libby. Thank you, everyone, for playing along. That was actually very interesting. I learned some new things about you, and it was fun to see everyone participate.
All right, Susan, you're up.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to see people, and it's great to see people that aren't wearing masks, because I've gotten to the point where I can't recognize anybody anymore unless I see a whole face. So I know some of you have been following along with our summer online services, which have been a wonderful stopgap, and I've actually managed to have at least 3 new converts, my husband, my dog, and one of my cats, so that they usually make it through the whole service this way, which is good. Today, however, everybody slept through it. What I wanted to bring out was the fact that we are trying to continue our worship programs. Even though we're not going to be able to do vocal choirs, we just can't because singers are super spreaders. But there are opportunities for us to do things through pre-recorded programs. And so one of the big things would be, if you have the desire to sing, we don't even need to see you. If you would like me to email you, or Laura can email you a recording with which you can sing along and send it back. I know that Claire has done that. A couple other folks have sent us some behind the scenes. Stephen Engel has also done that. We have our vocal ensemble who's been meeting, but we need more people. We need more variety, and we need people of all ages. So it's a great time to find out if you're a closet ukulele player, Alex, that you would be able to possibly contribute in that way. And it doesn't have to be very long. It can be used as a little filler music. It can be done, you know, however you would like it to be. We are going to try to do a handbell choir for Christmas, because right now that is the only thing that we can do safely, because people would be masked and we could distance. So if you're interested in that, I please encourage you in the chat and in the Google forms that you'll fill out, please let us know. You don't have to have any experience. We will train you. It could be for young and old. I would say probably kids at least 8 years old, just for comfort's sake. But we would welcome to have you, young, old, new, old. We're happy to have you come back. If you're a family, right? I know the Comers aren't here this morning, but if you've got a little cadre at home where you could have some singers and some players, we would love for you to contribute. And it could be just a hymn. It could be just a verse of Amazing Grace. We just want to be able to keep the music going as best we can. We don't know what things are going to look like. We're going to start next week, hopefully, as Mark said, with the online services. The in-person services, but they will be small. There will still be no live singing. Any singing we would do would be broadcast on the screen. The only thing we will have present are instrumentalists, right? Keyboard players, anybody that's playing an instrument that is not necessarily a wind instrument, strings, percussion, guitar, something like that. But we need anybody that's interested in, and you don't have to be, the next great American's Got Talent. We want people to make a joyful noise to the Lord. That's the most important thing. And you can contact me. I think there's all my contact information. You can let me know through the Google Forms, or text me, or call me, or email me. I'm happy to speak with you at any point. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you've never been involved with any of our music programs before. This is a new era, and so we're just lucky and fortunate to be able to keep going, because we've had people like Pastor Earl and Mark who've been able to keep the video lines going, and hopefully we'll be able to do some live streaming as well. Any questions?
Don't think so. Looks good.
Okay, I'm done.
I think it's my turn. Guys, it is so nice to see everyone. I think it's been, I guess, since March, so 7 months since I've seen everyone. It's fantastic, actually. All right, so for Sunday Adventures, we were hoping to have a Zoom Sunday school class for the children through 1st to 5th grade, and then continue with the high school class. The plan is currently for 1st to 5th grade to have a story time, and then possibly a craft as it develops to see where how story time goes. The theme is going to be Heroes of the Bible. We're going to start probably mid-October. I'm really looking to, if you fill out the Google form, see the interest for the families for children for 1st to 5th grade. And obviously, kindergartners are more than welcome, because who doesn't like a good story? We thought 11 to 11:30 would work, given 9:30 to 10:30 in-person church services. And then for the high school class, the theme is still kind of to be determined. Jeff's plan is to finish last year's curriculum and then start something new after that. He plans on starting next Sunday at 10. So, and as you can see, Libby's very excited about that. If there was a high school, if any high schoolers did not participate last year in his Zoom class and they want to, also please fill out the Google form. Now, going back to the children Zoom Sunday school class, I'm hoping for at least 5 families to participate. And maybe this would be a great opportunity for parents or who have considered maybe teaching but weren't sure if they wanted to be a teacher. This would be a good opportunity for them if they wanted to volunteer. It's going to be low stress. That's my theme. And obviously, if you have questions, talk to Carl or myself. Any questions? No?
There's a question in the chat from Chandra. Is the time still 10 for high school?
Yes, if we're having the in-person service at 9:30.
We're not sure how many high schoolers will be attending the in-person service.
Okay.
Honestly, Jeff is going to, it's all going to change. He's going to talk to the kids, figure out what works best for them.
Okay.
And I even asked him the same question if he wanted to attend the in-person service.
The finalized streaming time was not finalized until last Tuesday, so I think that that time may change, and chances are that the church service in person is going to be somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. It's not going to be a full hour, so it's possible that 10 a.m. time still may work for most people, but we'll kind of have to play it by ear. He may adjust a little bit depending on the actual times of the service.
And then, Sandy, there's another question in the chat from Jamie. Is the 1st through 5th just one Zoom altogether?
Absolutely. Yes, an all-together story time.
And I already ordered a Heroes of the Bible series. This is Karen. So I'm willing to kick it off on the first week, but I'm hoping for some help in outgoing weeks.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Libby's gonna talk. Here you go.
Okay, so this year we're trying to do some in-person stuff as well as still doing Sunday school, and here are some of our events that we're doing. We've already done go-karting, and the youth group meeting was super fun. I had a really good time. It was really nice catching up with everyone, and we did see some new faces, which was awesome. And yeah, I'm really excited for this year. And we're doing a bunch of fun activities that are obviously, hopefully, going to happen. And they are outdoors, so it's safe.
Yeah, so
okay, Mr. Alex.
Yeah, so the basic format that we've got laid out is that there'll be 2 meetings a month. One meeting will just be the kids getting together to catch up and do some devotions. The next, or a service project type of thing. The next is some sort of outdoor event. So kayaking is coming up, then hiking, and then there's a service project planned. Christmas party at the Legnards, given that the COVID will permit it, and that's what's planned. Anyone who's interested, please email Julie, fill out the form. There's also a youth group permission slip that we need to have filled out by everybody. So get that done and we'll be good. Okay, Rick Tuzo, you're the man.
Yeah, I'm the man. Yeah, in the absence of actually having any kind of a worship committee, if you will, I was asked to put some stuff together. So go ahead to the next slide. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're looking for people both with the COVID problem that we're having now. There are some things, if we're going to do in-house worship, or when we do in-house worship, things that are kind of important. And then there are some things that we just won't do until COVID has been put under control somehow. So it's the same things. We always need people for altar care when we're coming back together, where they have to get the paraments out. Now, I'm assuming that pastor will probably work with me or Sue in the office to do some paraments for the in-worship services, so we won't have to worry about bringing anybody in from altar care. And the communion will be handled by having a little communion package that you grab yourself. So we won't need to have that happen. But when COVID is, when we're in a better state because of COVID, after COVID, post-COVID, there you go, is that we'll definitely need people to do things for altar care. And that includes also, we're looking for people to help out with the flowers. And that is Sylvia Deck actually is dealing with that. Altar care, I'm not sure who's going to be handling most of that. Greeters, we're always looking for greeters, and we're also looking for somebody who would want to coordinate the greeters. We had Evie Detner, and then I forget who was after Evie, but then things just kind of went by the wayside with that. Ushers are really going to be important during COVID because we have protocols in place that the ushers will have to seat people specifically in areas that are marked in the pews, depending on the size, if it's a single person or a couple, or family members. And so you can't just go in and just sit down, and the whole idea is to just keep things moving, put people in their seats, make them stay in their seats for the 40 minutes, and then the dismissal. And so we'll enter in a particular door, you'll have to sign in, you'll grab your communion stuff, the usher will usher you to a seat, and when service is over, then you'll be dismissed individually going out the side door into the parking lot. So there's a lot that we're gonna have the ushers do. Post-COVID, the ushers also will be helping with setting things up in the sanctuary, making sure everybody has what they need, because during COVID, we're not going to have hymnals, we're not going to have bulletins. Everything you need will be self-explanatory or up on a screen. And but post-COVID, then of course they go back to doing everything that they used to do before. So I've reached out to Lou Franklin, who was the coordinator for ushers, but I haven't heard back from him yet. I'm trying to find out if he would reach out to who are his usher teams, or if he wants me to do that and give me a list, and I'll be happy to do it. But we are definitely in need of ushers for this get together in the church during COVID. Okay, next. So acolytes, right now we're not worried about acolytes. There will not be acolytes. It's a streamlined service, of course, so we won't have to deal with it. But I forgot to ask Beth Novosel. She was coordinating the acolytes, but since we don't really need them right now, I'll reach out to her to find out. But if somebody wants to sign up as acolytes, parents out there, talk to your kids about that. And we can establish some kind of training once a lot of COVID restrictions are lifted. Right now, pastors decided that the only Bible passage being read will be the gospel. Thanks. When you're old like me, you forget words like that. So yeah, the gospel. We're not going to do the epistle or the Old Testament reading right now. Pastor reserves the right, obviously, to make a change to that, and then we'll reach out. But still, sign up if you would prefer to be a reader. And then assisting ministers, we've already reached out to Eric, and Eric reached out to assisting ministers. We have a list of those who would be willing to be assisting ministers in person in the church during COVID. And then we have others that have said that they would do it recorded like we have been doing, and that could be played on the screen instead of them having to be there in person. But after COVID, then we obviously we're always in need of assisting ministers. For the 2 services, I think there's only like 4 or 5 at each service, and so your turn comes up quick. Okay, communion assistant, obviously I said during COVID you'll do your own, but after COVID we always need communion assistants, and Eric really runs that roster too. And then right now, here's a big deal. Cleaning volunteers. And why? Because the protocols for COVID required by the state and the county is that everything has to be cleaned and sanitized after the service. We have a cleaning company that comes in and they'll do a lot of it, but we need to touch off anything in the event that somebody else comes in. So like the backs of the pews, the hands on the pews, any kind of stuff that gets handled even in the bathroom. So if you're willing to do that during the COVID time frame and you're going to be there at the church, please sign up for that. So I'm understanding all this sign up can be done during that from that Google Docs. I think that's it, right? Any questions? Thanks.
Okay, cool. That there will be a lot of that on the Google Forms. So,
Alex?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I came in a little late. I understand we're going to start having services at 9:30. What's the restrictions? Did you mention that in terms
There's going to be a lot,
numbers?
Richard, there's going to be a lot of information coming out. A lot of it hasn't been finalized yet.
Okay.
So stay tuned, because we haven't even had an official announcement yet, but it's coming.
Okay.
All right.
Rick, there is a message for you from me in the chat.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so service and outreach, believe it or not, there's a lot we can do. There's my email address, so anything that anybody who wants to do anything, please let me know. Here we go. First thing up is Habitat for Humanity. We're going to be doing some builds coming up. They are having limited builds. Currently, it is they're only during the week. Laura, if you want to go ahead and click through those other things. This is the last build we did down on East Eager Street. Some of the folks that were involved. This was kind of an interesting project in that this house is actually for sale. There are the Habitat allowed for this block to be sold so that that staff and faculty at Johns Hopkins could have some low-income housing so that they could staff the hospital, and then the proceeds of this will be used to help to fund new homes in Sandtown and other places that are being developed in there. So they started building again, but right now it's only during the week. So if you're available during the week, let me know, because they're doing build teams of 5 at this point. All right, next. At Our Shepherd, we will continue to have SPAN. We'll be doing some SPAN drives as we start to gather together. So keep that keep that in your plans. November 7th, we have a blood drive coming to Our Shepherd. They apparently really like our facility for blood drives, especially in the COVID scenarios. Rebecca Fishburne is moving forward with the Fair Trade Fair for Christmas shopping, but it will be virtual. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Help her out with buying some good stuff. Next, we've got some social issues discussions, and we moved. Had a little formatting issue there, but the crux of this is Lord grant that I may seek rather to comfort than to be comforted, to understand than to be understood, to love than to be loved, by the prayer of Saint Francis. In keeping with that, a group of us has joined with a company called, or a group called Braver Angels, and I think there was a Life Together about this, which is holding a workshop for skills for bridging the divide, and it really helps people to learn how to communicate when they're coming, especially in these political times, from extremes, on how we can better do that together. So anyone interested in joining the next round of that would be great. It was really good. We also have a group that has joined with Claim with discussions on anti-racism. There's a book and discussion with on the book called Dear Church, which is, the author is a Lutheran pastor, Lenny Duncan, and it's Dear Church, a love letter from a black preacher to the whitest denomination in the U.S. Chandra asked a question about the homeless shelter. We don't have information yet on that, as far as how that's going to be handled.
Alex, I do.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
They had a grant, so at least for this fall, and probably the whole season, they are putting them up in a hotel. They continue to put them in a hotel room. So
Gotcha.
There's not going to be the in-church shelter, at least for this season.
Very good. Very good. All right, next. And we also have some online Bible studies available for folks that, I've seen a lot of you there that are on it, or here that are on it. We do this Wednesdays and Thursday nights. Wednesdays is Tavern Talks, Bibles, Bourbons, and Beverages. And on Thursday nights, it's Lift Your Spirits Bible Study. Yes, I've been accused of starting these just so I could drink, but the beauty of these things are that is the outreach. We have folks that are joining us from around the country, from as far away as California, Michigan, Virginia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and it's a really good discussion. What we do is we read the upcoming gospel and have a discussion on the what is God saying to us? What are we going to do about it? And water counts as a drink, right? So lots of folks show you don't have to drink alcohol, but it's a lot of fun. It's very insightful. The tavern talks is typically guys. That's how it started out. And Justine reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you have anything I can join?" I invited her to that. She says, "I don't want to be there with a bunch of guys." So we started another one called Lift Your Spirits. That's co-ed. So everyone's invited to any of these. That we have some biblical scholars, and then you've got me and Yizer. So it's a huge range in between there. So please join us. There we go. All right, and so I'm going to put into the chat the link to the Google Forms. And in that link, you can go through that. You can do it now, you can do it later. As far as you can go in and see if you're interested in any of these things, or if you've got other ideas of things you want to do. And I would invite everybody to do that now. And we're at the point now where you should unmute yourselves, talk to each other, perhaps some of these questions, or if nothing else, reach out to people that are here that you don't know, because I would really like to know who KFKAWI is.
Right.
Alex, I was going to say that we really suggest that you do the form now, because the chances of anyone going back later, we know, are probably not really good.
Okay, listen to the teacher.
And the slides be made available someplace so that people can go back and reference whoever to contact?
Yes.
Okay, what were you saying?
And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Don't put dashes in your phone number on the